In the game of Rum Runner, there's two players only, and it's an asymmetric game, which means that the players are doing different things entirely. The way that they play the game is different. And in this case, we have two players, one of which is the Crown. These are your imperialist, colonist, whatevers. And then you've got pirates. We know what pirates are. They're dastardly, they're clever, they got ships and
they got piratey stuff.
They got piratey stuff. So those are the two options in the game. One player is going to play the Crown, and their job is to, on their islands here, they have 4 islands in front of them, they're going to try to distill some rum, which they intend to sell for profit. The pirates, on the other hand, they have a job as well, and their job is to steal that rum. They want to find it, they want to steal it, they want to drink it. And those are the two options for the players in the game. So what are they going to be doing, and what are they going to be doing differently? So let me show you how the Crown steals rum. So each player on their turn is going to have 3 actions they get to choose to do whatever they want in whatever order they want before it goes over to the other player. So the Crown, on their turn, one of the things they can do on their turn is fund an investment into an island. So in this case, I'm taking this rum card here, this light rum here, and I would put it into an island. Now the Crown is tricksy, so they actually play their cards face down. My opponent would not know necessarily that that's rum.
Just pretend that it's not rum.
I can pretend that it's not rum.
Could be something else.
Each player also has money. Each one player starts with 5, and the Crown could, as their second action on their turn, invest in that rum right there. Putting a coin on the card. Getting it closer to being rum. And as their third action, they could do that again. So reducing their set of coins here by 1 more and putting a second coin on this rum. So what are they doing here? They're trying to get the rum to its threshold of 2 coins. And if they get it to 2 coins, they're going to be able to score it for 1 point. They score 4 points and they win the game. So that's what the Crown is trying to do. In this case, that means I put 2 coins on this rum. That means it is shortly going to become tasty rum that I can sell. But that only happens at the beginning of the Crown's turn. So that was the 3 actions. And we only check whether things are funded at the beginning of the turn. So then it goes over to the pirate. So what can the pirate do? Well, the pirate has boats and they have crew. So pirate's going to have a hand of cards, which is going to be a mix of ship cards and crew cards, events. Those are the 3 card types for the pirate player. And just like the Crown, they get 3 actions, and they could spend those actions putting crew into play or putting some ships into play. So I think do you have a ship in there that you want to put in play, or you want to go in with this little dinky little longboat? This is your starting ship. It has room for 1 crew on it, and it has no innate traits. Do you have something better? Okay.
A lot better.
So she's choosing to play this merchant vessel. It also has no innate traits. We'll see what those could look like. But it has 3 slots for crew, so you can take a lot of crew in this, and it would cost 1 coin to put in play. So go ahead and pay your 1 coin. You can put that in our little treasure chest here.
Which means it's still mine.
So as your first action, you get 2 more. So another thing you can do is play crew. You can play as many crew as you like for 1 action. So you could put up to 4 crew down, but they each may have a cost to play them, again in the top left. And you load up that merchant vessel with a couple of crew. Oh, we got 1 there. That's Stinky Pete here. She's opting to play the monkey crewmate, which will cost 1 coin. So 1 coin to play Stinky Pete.
Stinky Crete.
I was gonna say Stinky Crew. Do you want any more, like another crewmate for Stinky Pete? Someone to watch this monkey, make sure the monkey's okay?
Yes.
Okay, you wanna put another one down? Okay, we have Janie McFloyd here. She also costs 1 coin.
Oh. That's good.
Okay, so that was the second action, which is crew action. When you play crew, you can play as many as you want. You can move them around between the boats. You basically have to change up all your crew as long as you pay for any new crew. All right, you got 1 action left. Now, you'll notice that there's this rum here. Well, there's this thing that might be rum here. You might want to go get it. So how does the pirate go and try to disrupt what the crown is doing? Because as it goes right now, the crown is going to score that rum and score a point at the beginning of their turn. You got one action to get it. What the pirate can do is raid. So in order to do a raid, you choose an island that you want to raid.
That one, because that's the only one that has money on it.
Yeah,
or at least
it
stuff.
seems suspicious, doesn't it?
Suspicious because it's the only one.
So you choose one island, then you
It has
choose
investment.
any number of your ships that you want to send in. In each ship that you want to send in, you have to pay them a coin. So this one's
one.
empty, so that one can't even raid. Doesn't have any crew. Can't go in without it. So the merchant vessel. So you pay one of your coins onto the ship to show that it has been paid for. And we're going here, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now here's where things switches back. The crown here needs to defend this rum, but the trick is all the defenses have to be laid down in advance in secret. So in this case, I didn't add any. It was just the ones that started the game there. And so there's one hazard here. So these are called hazards. These are how you defend your investments. And what they do is they look like this. And what they're going to have is one or more costs that the pirate player would need to pay in order to get past it. So this one, as it's one of the ones we started with, is pretty flimsy. It just requires one of these red combat skills. You'll notice that the crew had different traits. You can see in the upper corner there, the combat skill there.
And Stinky Pete's good at driving.
And Stinky Pete is good at driving. Yes, the blue
makes no
navigation
sense.
skill there.
That makes no sense. A monkey can drive a ship.
It's a dexterous monkey. What do you want to know?
The fancy monkey.
So, I didn't defend my rum very well. Maybe I shouldn't have been so aggressive, because the only card I have is something that, frankly, they can blow right through anyway. So, I'm not even going to bother flipping that up. So what I would do there is flip something up, but I'm not going to. So the pirates go through the hazards, outside in, until they reach the island. You've reached the island, and you are rating the card on that island. So this is where we look at what did she get. Now, in this case, it's rum. But it could have been something else. But there's two things here. There's text there that's for the crown if it was funded, the black text on light background. And there's text here for the pirate if it's rated. And this one says, you add a coin to each rating ship, adding the second coin there, and score it for a point. So pirates have scored a point. That's one of the 4 points they need to win. Crown is sad.
Sad crown.
So that's this core interaction, is this rating business. Now that went pretty poorly for the crown, right? That was not good. Let's look at what might have happened differently. We'll go with a slight variation. So we'll rewind time. Let's say the crown had decided to put some more substantial hazards in front of that island. What could have happened? Well, in this case now, I've got something that I want to throw up in front of the pirates. I've got some privateers here, and I said there could be multiple costs. This one has 3 potential costs. Either you can pay with combat, 2 combat, you can pay with money, 4 gold, or you can pay with lives, with crew. Trashing a crew. Trash is to remove a card from play to your discard pile. So this card has a cost, like most cards, but you notice I didn't pay anything when I play things face down. I pay them when I flip them up. So I'm gonna pay 1 money to put this card up. So I'll flip it towards you can see. So the way this works is that you need to pay one of those costs or you can't get through.
Well, does the pirate crew have to be in play or in your hand?
It has to be from the raiding party, which is anyone that's on the raid. So all these only affect the raiding party. So it'd have to be one from in play. So there's only these 2 in play. So basically can't come up with the 2 combat. Can't do it.
No.
4 coins, don't have it.
No.
Only have 1 coin. So the only option here is for a crew to pay their life. You choose to leave the monkey driving the ship.
Yes.
Yep. So Janie McFloyd, she's out. She goes into a face-up discard pile here.
Goodbye.
And this
Monkey
hazard
driving.
is dealt with. And it actually, in this situation, would go away.
Cute.
However, at this point, they paid the cost. They get to keep going I get forward, you go forward, and you would still get that rum. So, how would I stop you? Let's rewind again. So, the pirate's going to raid again. Now we got more hazards to defend it. In this case, I'm going to pay 2 coins for these sirens, which you would need 4 navigation to get around them, or you trash a crew, and pay for those privateers. In which you would need. Well, we already know how those would work. So.
I don't think I can get through that.
Yeah, so this is a pretty terrible outcome.
So I can't trash a crew. I can't trash this crew. Because, well, actually, because then if I do trash a crew, I can't get through this.
Well, you could trash a crew for one and trash a crew for the second one, but then there's nobody to drive the boat, so you can't make your way there. And that's how that would end.
So I can't get to it.
So if I would, well, not only can't you get to it, you're going to lose all your crew trying to get to it because you have to pay a price if you can. So this would work out very well for the crown. Not only would the pirates be stopped, but there would be no pirates left and she'd have to play more next turn. So you can see how the set of hazards in front of the island can really change what's going to happen here. But let's say instead...
Stop making me trash my crew.
Yeah. I had played this other, actually simpler hazard called Uncharted Waters that just requires 3 navigation symbols. Just. And I paid my 3 coins on that. Now in this situation, you can't pay any of the costs on there, right? No. There's 1 cost. You can't play it. So what happens then? You're stopped. The pirates are stopped.
Goodbye.
They go home. It's all good. Well, it's not great. They didn't get rum, but you don't lose any pirates. So there's lots of ways that these can play out. The crown is trying to erect the hazards that are going to stop the crew, and the pirates are trying to assemble the right set of ships and crew to get through. Now,
but if one of them requires 4 steering, that makes no sense because you can only have 3 pirate cards on ship. Very
good question, or very good observation. So you chose to send 1 ship on that raid. You can send more than 1 ship.
You can send 2 ships.
Yes, so when you initiate a raid, it is 1 island, but as many ships as you're willing to pay for.
An insane raid.
So you could put together a whole bunch of boats. And the ships themselves can have those trait icons of navigation or combat. So that makes them add an icon as well. So that's how a raid works. That's the most essential part of the game. There's a lot going on there, but that's the meat of it. Now, there's one thing I didn't explain because I didn't have enough money to. Which is after hazard is resolved, it goes away. Unless the crew decided to pay extra money and leave coins on it. So if there's a coin on a hazard after it's resolved, instead of going away, one of the coin goes away. So you'd be stopped by this once, you could raid again. You'd be stopped by it again, you raid it. This time it would go away. Does that make sense? It's basically how many extra uses the hazard gets. So the crown gets to decide how long they want that thing to stick around by paying extra money. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. That's actually, it turns out that explaining how a raid goes is most of the game. Yeah. The rest is just how you play your turn. So like we talked about, you get 3 actions, right? You go through a menu of options. So on the pirate side, the actions they can take here are gain 2 coins. So 2 coins from the bank. The next action that they can take is draw until they have 5 cards in their hand. So you have how many cards right now? 2. So if you took the draw action, you would draw 3 cards and so that you had 5. The next action the pirates can take is to play an event. An event is a one-time use card. It's going to play, it's going to do something, and then it's going to go in your discard pile. The next action that we already saw is play a ship. You play it, its cost you put into play. And then we have the crew action where you play as many crew as you want. You can take crew back to your hand. You can move between ships. You can do whatever you want. Play crew. And then the last action they have is start a raid, which we just saw. You start a raid, you go. So you choose 3 from that menu, you do your thing, and then you switch over to the other player. You after you take your actions, you get to draw one card. So you're always going to be drawing cards every turn. The crown, very similar. You can take 2 money. You can fill your hand back to 5 cards. You can play an event, just like a pirate event. It does something, then it's gone. You can play investments onto islands, like I did. Just like the crew action where you can play multiple, you can play multiple investments. You can't take them back to your hand for free, but you can play multiple. Let's see, you can put hazards. When you play a hazard, you just put it face down in front of an island like that. You can add as many as you want to an island. There was the investment action, which I showed, which is to take a coin, put it on a card. And then the last action you can do is you can recall a card, say like, never mind, I don't want to do that. You take the coins back, you put the card back in your hand, you basically back out on whatever you were doing.
Like, okay, goodbye.
And end the investment. And that's it. So each side has a different set of actions they can do on their turn. And each one is trying to do something differently. And they have different cards, of course. That's Rum Runner. Any questions based on that explanation?
Not really.
Not really? Do you feel like you would know enough to start playing this game if you were to try?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, well, that's pretty good. Pretty good explanation. Oh, I missed something really cool about the pirates, though.
What?
So, we talked about how the pirates have a cost to play, right? And an icon that might contribute to them getting through hazards. But then they've got this text at the bottom. What's with the text at the bottom?
Good question.
That is the text that resolves. That's their special ability that happens after they do a raid. So, if they go on a raid and they survive, after the raid is done, whether they were stopped or not, their text happens. So, what would Ginny McFloyd let you do?
I would get to discard 1 card to take 1 coin from the crown.
So, you could get rid of a card.
Say I discarded this pirate.
And then you would take one of my coins.
Steely, steely. So basically that pirate got caught, but he got the coin back to me.
Exactly. So, that's one of the crew you get to resolve every time she raids. What does Stinky Pete let you do?
He says you may trash this card to trash a face down wave card, whatever that is.
Those are the hazard cards. They have little icons.
Hazard cards. Or to remove 1 coin from a face up hazard.
So Stinky Pete lets you mess with all these hazards that might be getting in your way, but you have to discard Stinky Pete
because he can steer.
Very agile monkey. So essentially, as the pirate player, what you're doing is putting together these combos of crew effects and a set of abilities that you think will get you through. As the crown player, what you're trying to do is put together traps and hazards to keep the pirates out. I played a rum here pretty straight-laced, but there's cards that aren't rum, that are investments. There's poisoned rum, which is bad for pirates, by the way.
Very bad.
And there's like economic cards. There's a lighthouse that'll help you move around your hazards. There's a cash crop, which allows you to just get steady income. So you're setting up a board of, building up abilities that help you do better, will also keep you in the pirates out. And there's one other thing about a raid that I feel like I should mention, which is I said you could raid any island. The crown's deck is on one of these islands. And if you raid the deck, you just raid whatever the top card is off the deck, which could be a rum or could be a whatever random card. If it's whatever it is, it's going to be gone. So if it's a raid, the pirates are going to get it. And if it's anything else, goes to the crown's discard pile. So you can attack their deck that way.
Just takes all your cards, yeets them in the ocean. Yay!
Yep.
You can't do anything.
Okay. I think we did it. That was actually ended up being a pretty full explanation of Rum Runner. I was going to do a short one, but we just did the full thing. All right. That's Rum Runner.